Good afternoon, everybody. It is your baby boomer Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia, back with another Create and Relate. Y'all, if y'all could have seen this get together today, hair got done backwards, but we got the coffee. Oh, today it is iced. I did mix my coffees, so I have the strongest of both worlds. I have the 1850 black gold. I have the Folgers black silk, 6 ounces of each, approximately 6 ounces of creamer. I mixed 4 ounces of the caramel macchiato and 2 ounces of the French vanilla. So I got some good mixture stuff going on today in my cup. And y'all, I only have a little bit of stuff to show you. Hi, Michelle. How are you? I'm sorry. The cup decided to give me more than my mouth can handle. Oh my goodness, y'all. That bed was feeling. Okay, try that again. That bed was feeling so good. Ugh. Michelle, I don't know if you noticed, but in StreamYard, that whole bar has gone down to just a dollar sign. That asking you if you wanted to sponsor bar is just a little dollar sign. Mhm. I'm counting down for you. I'm counting down with you, beside you, over you. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so first of all, thank you to all of my subscribers. I really, 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 um, I'm sorry to hear that, Michelle. I am. But I really, really am thankful for all of my subscribers. I thank you for seeing me valuable enough to come visit with me, even on my squirrely days like today. Today is one of those things. Y'all, let me tell you something. When I laid down last night, which was typically earlier than usual, I made the mistake of turning off the TV. I generally leave the TV on for some reason. Even if I put it on the rain sounds, it's kind of like an alarm clock. It's like after so much time, I'll start incorporating what's on TV in my dream, and then I'll realize, hey, this is not supposed to be here, and I'll wake up. But my body said with no sound last night, uh, no, chick, we gonna stay here for a minute. When I tell y'all that what you see before you happened in 30 minutes, I'm talking get up, do all the girly things, make my coffee. Oh my goodness. My daughter said, and I mean, looking for stuff, looking for what I wanted to wear was something totally different. I said, it's going to be the lounge wear today. And I have to let them know that I'm going to be late. That's why I titled it PJ Party. Because, yeah, couldn't find certain undergarments. Yes, it has already been that kind of day. Oh, but like I said, I do want to thank all of my subscribers. Please forgive me if I sound a little squirrely. Like I said, this whole package came together in 30 minutes today. Um, So I'm still trying to catch up with myself. Sleep was good. Sleep was real good. Sleep was needed. Sleep was wanted. Sleep was accepted. I let it happen. Um, I do ask that you please, 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 when you watch the videos that will start coming out today, because that's one of the reasons I worked hard before I went to bed early last night. I recorded some videos. So we're in the process of getting those set to start rolling out. A change has happened. Excuse me. I am going to drop a video to let you know exactly when the bingo cards will start. Right now, I'm looking at the 25th. They may start sooner. We are trying to get the printer hooked up today. So all that I have to do by hand, we're going to do that a little differently. And so we're going to get those rolling out ASAP. Um, we are still having the auction on the 24th. As of right now, there are limited items where, but there are a couple of new items introduced to the repertoire. I think that's it for the announcements. I love you all, and I want to encourage you to share my videos. Please, please hit the thummies when you come in and comments. I love comments. I love comments. Now for the show and tell. I showed you the Ghost Brothers, and I showed you Melvin's blanket. Melvin is my son, for those who don't know. So what I was working on Tuesday was my shirt, and the goal was to do 16 rows. Well, I started on row 13, I believe it is. Yeah, I'm short a row and a half. I'm short 2 rows and a half. It's the alternate color, 2 rows, and then this we get. So 2 rows and a piece of a row is what I'm short. But you have to consider I'm working with a size F hook. Yeah, a size F. I'm generally no smaller than an H. And in the last year or so, it's been I has been the smallest. So I'm just going back to an H is like tedious work for me. Going back to an F, I'm sorry, it's tedious work for me. But I'm proud of the progress that I made. I stuck it out until I got there. I kept doing it, and my eyes kept crossing, and I would do it some more. My eyes would cross. So I'm going to make another one of these, Michelle. I am. What is going to happen with the other one is it's going to be more open at the bottom, stitch wise. It's going to be like windows at the bottom. And then as we get up to the bust line, that's where it'll be closed in. The next one I make is going to be smaller. It's going to be my anticipatory top. And that's anticipating my surgery. I also wanted to show you I'm not pouting, y'all. I really am not. I promise you. This is the result of waking up late, doing things at the last minute. I wanted to find that my book. Okay, here it is, right here on top. Because I want to show you see, but I have plans for this one. So this one right here, the Montgomery, oh my goodness. And it's simple. This one, I want to turn into a dress. But I want to put my buttons down the back. I don't mind the low neckline in the back, but I'm going to have to adjust the neckline for the current back of it because I can't have my clothes up here. I feel like I'm choking. Yeah. So that's going to be next. And I like the little scallop collar of that one. The simplicity in the scallop collar. So I was thinking when I do this one, which will also be a dress, that I'm going to use the mandala, the it's my favorite color. It's the rainbow color. But I can't think of the name of it. Any other time I see it, I can spit the name out right away. But it's over there and I'm over here. But we don't do know that it's a mandala and it's got all the beautiful colors in it. It's the one that I made my dress out of. It's the one that I made the other dress out of that I was just wearing the other day. So yeah, I love that color and I can see this dress in that color. Um, the current dress, I am going to make some alterations. This one, I already know that I'm going to have to make it smaller before I make it because that yarn stretches. I mean, it really stretches. So now you saw what I was working on then yesterday. Fuss, I go ahead, fuss. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I know I wasn't supposed to start any new projects, but when I went to bed night before last, I let the new Summer Cow week one put me to sleep. So yesterday. And even though Juan's is in all white, his the tutorial is done in all white. Even though the tutorial is done in all white. Yes, isn't it gorgeous? Isn't it gorgeous? Isn't it gorgeous? But the wonderful thing is, I cannot, I can finish this round and I cannot work on it anymore until week two comes out. So when I finish this round, which is a side and about a half, then technically this is completed for right now. But isn't this gorgeous? Isn't this absolutely gorgeous? Y'all look at the intricacy, look at the stitches. I mean, the texture, you can see it. Oh my God, Juan is a mastermind. He is, he is absolutely phenomenal. He really, really is. I mean, I was looking at this while I was doing it. I looked at it after I was doing it. My daughter looked at it. This this is beautiful. The color choices were the colors that I chose. I told you I had chosen those colors for my son's fiance, and I the concept of the colors that I chose. This is my carnation, outlined by the leaves. I know these are not real poppies, but for me, they're poppies. Outlined by the leaves. And this is the American Mother's Rose, outlined by the leaves. It's like each flower segment, I outline it with the leaves, which is the green. So the next color set, and then it looks, most Hispanics that I know are extremely colorful. All of those that are in my life, and I got quite a few in my life, but they are, I mean, my name used to be Chavez. Come on now. But most of them love color and color pops. And when I got when I got to this point, I could just see Hispanic written all over that. I could just see it. I could just see it. The first thing I thought was south of the border. You know, I mean the place in Dillon, South Carolina. Come on now. But yes, that's the first thing I thought of, and it looks so festive and so fun. And I'm like, oh, I'm keeping the colors going. I am definitely keeping the colors going. And then the fact that it's for Jenna just makes it, because she is Hispanic. It just makes it all the better. I'm so happy that I allowed the colors to talk to me. I love that. I absolutely love that. So that's what I was doing yesterday. And today I pulled this out. I forget. I think it's Chi. What is the colorway? Come on now. Don't play with it, sister. It's too early in the morning. It is Chi. Yay! I got it right. I got it right. So this is Chi, all purpley. And I don't know what I'm getting ready to do with Chi. I had a dream last night. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And my dream was to do a padded hot pad. So in my creative process, I'll probably work this up. And if I use it, it'll probably just be like a table mat or something. I don't think I'll sit anything hot on it. But when I get ready to do the tutorial, then I will know based on this. So this, yeah, yeah. I think Chi is gonna be Chi Chi Hats. Yes, yes, yes. So we talked about the bingo. We are going to get those cards going. Jennifer's going to work with that for me. Um, and then the biggest thing from there will be to, I can do spreadsheets, y'all. So making bingo cards on the computer is like a snap to me. Filling them in won't be a problem either. It's just a matter of copy and paste. So I can put those out in a couple of days. But just to finalize everything and make sure everything is done properly, because I don't want to give you all mess. I'm not for that. And we'll get those going. Um, Bitty Kitty says hello. Manny says hello. I don't know if people actually believe that I sleep with those characters, but I do. I do. I do. And I also have a crocheted washcloth with me when I sleep at night, because your sister drools. And it's not cute. And when I wake up, I'm like, hi, Lori. How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Oh, my goodness. Lori, you haven't missed much. I woke up late and we're just kind of gathering and having a clash of brains. But Lori, I do want to show you this. Um, Juan, the yarn addict, started a cow this week, and this is my rendition. of his cow. Ah. Oh, bless your heart, bless your heart. I pray healing over you, Lori. I pray cool finality over you, Michelle. Peace of mind, loss of headache. Yes, yes, yes. Um, and also, Lori, I don't know if you saw this, but this is a top that I was working on for moi. And to show you the top, this is the top itself. And this is the back of the top. That's what called me to it. That's what made me buy the book. When Michelle was showing the book, I was like, oh, those are cute. Those are sweet. But when she showed this one and I saw the back to it, I was like, I started looking for it right then. I did. I was like, excuse me. I was like, that is so me. That is so me. Tease them, show them just a little bit, but not so much that they go gaga. Um, what I have excuse me, y'all, I'm sorry. What I have learned in making this top, of course, I read the pattern all the way through. I read the complete pattern. And what I learned in reading the pattern is that the sizes that Miss Rosner did these in only go up to XL. Well, I need a couple of more X's. But I was able to look at what she did and follow the pattern of her increases for sizes. And I was able to generate a size for myself. Um, that's one of the perks of reading the pattern all the way through. Because sometimes it might not be your size. Sometimes I know that there are several creators who make things specifically for big girls that would look absolutely amazing on smaller girls. And I've had to take one item and tweak it to the point that it would fit my granddaughter. It wasn't made for smaller people, but I had to figure it out, and the way I did it was the maker presented it for her size, which was a 2X, up to a 4X. So I had to take those sizes that she gave and reduce it down so that it would meet my granddaughter's size. Another thing that I'm noticing is that in reading the pattern, not only are you able to adjust the size, meaning fitting body wise, but you're also able to adjust the length. Um, this calls for 25 sets. It calls for 50 rows. Each row, it's 2 rows per set, I call it. But it calls for 50 rows. 50 rows is not going to be long enough for me. I happen to have a fupa that hangs. So this would be like a top of the pelvic bone hit. That wouldn't be enough for me. I would be extremely uncomfortable and wouldn't wear it. I wear things that drape over my fupa. My fupa hangs. It really does. And I wear things that cover it. In reading the pattern, you're able to adjust or make all of those adjustments um, based on what they have and not break the integrity of the item itself. This I know, I mean, in looking at what was done and in taking the time to figure it out, it's not going to look just like hers because I'm not a size 2. You see what I'm saying? But it is going to look similar because I took the time to figure that out. Um, I know that there was a big beef in the textile community some time ago. And when I went and downloaded the pattern myself and listened to the explanation, I listened to the explanation after I downloaded the pattern, but the explanation said exactly what most people would have done. Yeah. Yeah, it said what most people would have done. I have to go back and read. I'm sorry, I got caught up. Okay, Lori said that's a gift. I wish more pattern makers would be able to make. Why? Yeah, 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 yeah. Because I'm one of those. I'm 5'3". Yes, Michelle, you're taller than I am. I used to be 5'4". I used to be 5'4". So yes, I've always been short and stubby. Um, I have a poem running through my head. I have never done a poem for you all. I did it before, but I never did it for you guys. Um, there's a part in it that says, I used to be pretty. Yeah, I used to be fat and ugly, but now I'm just chunky and spunky, and I don't need you to love me because I can love me myself. No, I don't need your help. It every time I classify myself, I oh my god, a topic just bumped in my head. Y'all, before we go any further, I have to talk about this. I need help. I need your advice. How do you approach bullies? How do you approach child bullies? My poem. Let me do this for you. Say finger snaps to the end. I used to be pretty. Big red-headed baby whose complexion was pigment-free, chubby from the top of my cheeks to the sole of my feet. Yeah, chubby feet designed so that the toes would always meet, and even had the nerve to be knocked at the knees with the eyes. Oh, the set of eyes I had on me were gorgeous enough to make my mama weak in the knees. Trust me when I tell you, I used to be pretty. I used to be pretty because every time you would see my grandfather travel, he would travel with me. I always rode shotgun. Nobody could have my seat. Only a cold Pepsi would make the trip complete. Then my mother came to Carolina to scoop me. Brought me back with her to Old Virginia where I would meet Tony and he would turn me into his wifey, only 1 year older than 3. First, he fondled me, eventually taking me and turned me into his personal freak. You see, I used to be pretty. When I looked in the mirror and saw me, I thought, wow, that's a pretty me, until she started pointing out to me the fact that my nose was the wrong size for me. And then reminded me of the weight that stuck to me after each one of my pregnancies. And then he comes along and tells me that my dialect just doesn't fit the rest of me. And then he comes along and assures me that big girls just aren't that pretty, but I was cool as long as he could. But in public, he would openly duck me. But I became cool again when he was back inside of me and took a picture of me and posted it on Facebook. The number of likes 1,081, 82, 83. When I go in public, I hear, you look so familiar to me. Huh? Why did you have to do that to me? I guess you were sick of me being so pretty. I used to be pretty. Especially when you chose to marry me. Told your friends you felt like you had to carry me, but that was so far from the truth, you see. All I needed from you was for you to love me. But instead, I was donning I was donning the onyx gem and the blue diamonds you gave me. I never could cover them all, you see. I just needed you to love me and respect me and see me as pretty. But now I don my Cinderella crown and I refuse to let the likes of you hold me down. Yeah, I used to be pretty, but now I'm just chunky and spunky and I refuse to let. Hold on, I'm sorry, I lost it. I refuse to let the likes of you hold me down. Yeah, I used to be pretty. I used to be fat and ugly, but now I'm just chunky and spunky, and I don't need you to love me because I can love me all by myself. Nah, baby, I don't need your help. All I ever needed from you, you see, was for you to respect and love me for me, but you couldn't even do that properly. You almost had me hating me, but I know what lies in the heart of me. One that would give her last graciously, even when the love is not reciprocated so easily. See, I possess a love that can't be portrayed. Pretty may not exist anymore. But beauty, it's here to stay. Hello, Lamar. How are you? How are you? How are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. So that is my piece. That became my signature piece. It was based on the bad things that had happened to me in my life. Um, that piece was actually revealing to my mother what had happened to me as a child. Um, but it also addressed the I'm sorry, addressed the bullying that I encountered. Um, I know that we can't be without children 24 hours a day, and my my I'm a mother hen. I am definitely a mother hen. I was one of those mothers that when my children went to school, if they had problems at school, I was there. Uh, I was so much there when they were in elementary school that I almost had to clock in for work every day. When they would have fundraisers at the school, I headed those fundraisers. I would call businesses and organizations and get them to donate. When my daughter started school and there were little girls in her classroom that were bullying her, I was able to talk to the teacher about it and we got that situation, she got that situation taken care of. But the problem now is that my grandson is being bullied. I think it bothers me so much because this kid is brilliant. Mm. You give him a chore to do, and he's the first one up and at it. And if you're not finished what you have to do, he's there helping you finish. And in a month's time, he doesn't want to do anything. Huh? He don't want to look at TV. So when all of our asking him, is this happening? It was always, no, no, no. I'm not being bullied. No, nobody's bothering me. And yesterday I finally had to break it down to him. And we sat here eye to eye, TV off, light right on both of us, almost like being in an interrogation room, but I didn't approach him in that way. I approached him with love, with understanding, and I told him, Grandma loves you, and Grandma is always going to be here for you, and you can always come and talk to Grandma. And he said, "Yes, Grandma, I'm being bullied." And then I asked him, I said, I was able to pick up on that because I've been through it too. And I'm still going through it right out here where we live. And he said, Grandma, no, because the kids on the bus give me a hard time. And they talk about you too. I don't I don't necessarily want to move, but I do want to move. But I can't. So yeah, what's your name? This is my truth. This is my transparency. This is the bulk of what I've been dealing with for the past couple of weeks. I thought once we got the insurance straightened out, life was going to iron right out. But it's like this kicked up right after that, and the sleepless nights and the fear in it is how to approach it. Because telling the teacher has done nothing, and then being a movie buff, being a person who is so into this big plasma thing sitting in front of me, I am very aware of the possible outcomes of bullying. I know the changes that put me through. I know the changes that it has put my daughter through, my daughters and my son, because all of my kids were bullied until they got older. But it's what you have to go through until you get to that point of what I told my grandson. You have to make your mind bigger than the words, because that's all it is. It hasn't gotten to, well, the only way it got physical was when Grandma had to go up to the school and act like a mama bear. And that was like 3 days in a row. They had gone outside to play and they kept pushing Pete down. And I'm like, hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Now, you can say some pretty harsh words, but when it comes to putting hands on, Mama Bear got claws. And we'll dig in. It was funny when I left the house that day. I told my girls, y'all need to get your money together. They were like, what are you talking about? Yeah, we might need bail money. They like, Mama, where you going? Don't worry about it. I'll let you know when I get there. But it saddens me to see such a happy child not happy. That's any child, but it's really heart wrenching when that child is of you. You know, yeah, he's brilliant. When I tell you all that this little boy can read on an eighth grade level, he does math like, I mean, he's already into algebra. Y'all, he's 7. He's 7 years old, and so handsome, so handsome. He's a little chunky and spunky, but tall for his age. And I told him also yesterday, so what they call you chunky. I see, think about it. When the doctor tells you you're chunky, that's when you worry about it. Has your doctor said that? And he's like, no, doctor says I'm right where I should be. Exactly. But you have to realize that you're tall for your age. And no, you don't look like a beanpole. That means you're eating well. What other kids do you know that can sit on the porch and have string beans and broccoli and roasted chicken and, corn on the cob and homemade, homemade. We don't live in, we're surrounded by Red Lobster, Chili's, Olive Garden, Rally's, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Sonic. I said Burger King. Well, it's two Burger Kings. Starbucks. I mean, Denny's, IHOP. The list goes on. We are surrounded. Taco Bell, Cadobas, Freddy's, Cane's. We're surrounded by restaurants. But we get home cooked meals. They taste better than the restaurant cooking, and we eat plentifully. When the kids eat, they don't have to worry about, what can I get? I wonder if I can get, and it's, they have their snacks. I'm talking, excuse me, bananas and apples and pears and oranges and the little, what they call them, cuties. And I said bananas, Jello and applesauce and yogurt, and um, they we keep them in the breakfast sandwiches so they don't have to wake us up on the weekends. They go pop one in the microwave. They have Legos. I said the yogurts. They have the fruit cups. A lot of kids are going to their. When we first moved out here, the kid from upstairs came up to me in my car and asked me for $10 so he could feed his friend. My babies don't have to worry about that. So what I did to kind of smooth things over and make it a little better for him, I was like, baby, let me show you something. I pulled up pictures of William Perry, Shaquille O'Neal, Charles Barkley, Magic Johnson, all of these guys who were not Emmett Smith, um, Zeke. Why can't I get Zeke's last name? And I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. But Tony Dorsett, Robert Newhouse, all of these guys who are not beanpoles. You know what I'm saying? Emily, how are you? I'm so happy to see you. But I picked all of these guys who are not beanpoles, who had, some meat on their bones. And these are professional athletes. These guys are bringing in the duckies. So I told him, I said, then you look at your grandma. Your grandma has never been a skinny girl. I was a cheerleader in high school. I ran track. I played softball, basketball. I was in the band. I played football. I did any and everything I wanted to do in high school. I did. I didn't want to play golf, and I didn't. I didn't want to play tennis, and I didn't. It's my dad's mom, Nada. Specifically to help people who were working. That is a neat idea along those lines. Emily, thank you for the book. Uh, got you on TV while I'm cleaning. For some reason, I think StreamYard heard us, and they've reduced. I know on mine they've reduced that bar from that big long bar to one little dollar sign over in the corner. So it's showing me most of what you said. Hello, Butter Roll Boutique. How are you? So nice to have you in. Oh my goodness. It has. It has, it has. It's been quite a minute. But that is the brink of what we that's the bulk the brink. That's the bulk of what we had going on. If anybody has any suggestions on how to handle that with little kids and the school especially, um, I'm open for suggestions. I really, really am. My daughter and I'm trying to keep his mom out of that school, y'all. I so am. I'm trying very hard to keep his mom out of that school because she will rename the city. Definitely rename the city. So, like I said, any suggestions are welcome. They are definitely welcome. Michelle, that's how we started out. He passed the deadline of being able to start school early. So his first year of schooling came from me. I That's why he knows English, Spanish, and sign language. Everything we taught triplicate so that he would get it. And it was amazing in him showing us that he could read. We had um, several segments of 40 words on a list. And the first word that I chose for him was mine, or me in Espanol. Um, and we taught it my in English, me, Espanol, sign language, my hand against the chest. So when I presented this list of 40 words to him, I laid it out on his little yellow table, and he scooted his blue chair up to the table. And I told him on that list, I wanted him to point out his word for his, oh my God, I can't even think right now. I'm gonna say focus word. His focus word for the week. I wanted him to point it out. This little ninja read every word on that list. And I'm sitting here trying to get lesson plans together for the next day. And I'm like, hold up, what did you do that again? And he read every word on that list. So I pulled the second list out and he read every word on that list. I pulled the third one out. I'm like, Ninja, he's 3 years old at this time. And yeah, sight word. Thank you. I could not get it out to save my life. But when we got to the third one, I was like, who taught you how to read? Nobody. I mean, he's just reading. He would just go up to stuff, and when we would take our field trips, what we did, it was kind of a it was helping grandma too because we had not been here that long, and I wanted to learn my area. So every day we would take field trips. We would go out and learn different parts of the city. So we're reading road signs and all the billboards and the front of businesses and all those types of things. And I'm like, in all, because this ninja is reading. I'm honestly homeschooling my girls. I struggled in school. My mom was mad. I took German. Oh, I took Spanish for 2 years. And just because I wanted to be well versed or well rounded, I took French my senior year. And then I got mad because the year that I chose to take French, the Spanish class went to Spain. I understand why she wanted to, but I grew up around. Speaking of Amish, I have always wondered what it would be like to live a life close to Amish. Of course, I would want the electricity and the running water. I would want certain amenities that are given to us, but I wonder, growing a garden, raising cattle, and only having using the barter system as opposed to the retail system that we have. You know, getting around on, but I love my scooter, but getting around on horse and buggy and I don't know, just living this simple way of life. I wonder what it would be like. But I'm not Amish, and it would be impossible for me to marry an Amish man. So I don't know. But my dreams and aspirations, if I ever hit the lottery, that's funny because I don't even play the lottery. But if I ever hit the lottery, like the big bucks, then what I want to do is build 7 houses in a cul-de-sac that sits 2 miles back off the highway and approximately a mile and a half from the woods. I want anything running out the woods upon us. I want to be able to see it before it gets there. The reason for 7 houses is because each one of my kids would have their own place, and I would have my own place. Well, Kitty, that leaves 3 extra houses. Yes. I think it's going to have 8 houses. But for right now, we're going to say 7. I would want our, um, which they would become extended family, the house cleaner, the groundskeeper. I would want them to be a family and they would have a place to stay as well. I would want one house to be the guest house. So when people came to visit, they have privy to their own house, call it an Airbnb. And then certain other members of the extended family would have their place. Uh, and utilize services like Amazon, Walmart Plus, all of those services that would come delivered. I would have a swimming pool, a basketball court, a tennis court. Uh, why? Because I like the way a tennis court looks. I like sitting beside tennis courses writing. They're great people for sure. Smingsburg isn't a terrible drive for me and Lancaster. Bless your heart. Um, but it's nice to dream. Everybody would have their own car, of course. And um, Pete and Moonpa, when I talk about that dream, the first thing they say is, "Ooh, we'd have our own house." No, no, you're still children. No. Now, when you grow up, the option is there. We'd have a pool house. Of course, it would be critter impenetrable. Y'all, I'm telling you, everything will be built like a fortress. Because with someone who is so adventurous, I'm scared of everything. I'm scared of bears. I'm scared of snakes. I'm scared of spiders. I'm not afraid of snakes. I respect snakes, but I'm not afraid of them. I used to own snakes. But spiders, if you ever want to lose a friendship with me or feel like I've dropped all kind of hints and she's just not getting it, show me a spider. Friendship done. I don't mess with them. I don't know if y'all know the story, but um, the first real bad heart attack I had, I did it. I did it. I had a wallet that was sitting by the back door that sat there for 3 months, a long black billfold. I wrote John 3:16 on the outside of it. For God so loved the world that you know which one it is. Okay, so I had that written on it, and I decided after 3 months that I was going to pick this wallet up and use it. Picked the wallet up and unzipped it. Lena, I love you too. But I picked this wallet up and I unzipped this wallet. And when I unzipped the wallet, the spider jumped out and he jumped on me. And if you've seen the comedy movie Nothing to Lose, the part where the spider jumped on the guy and he caught on fire and he was dancing, the Scatman Struthers, that's what I look like. That's exactly what I look like. But I was beating myself in the process. I was just beating me. When I got to the hospital, yes, they had to call 911 because I couldn't breathe. I was hurting. When I got to the hospital, the doctors kept trying to get me to admit that someone had beaten me that badly. They're like, you don't inflict this kind of pain on yourself. There is no way you could have punched yourself. And I'm telling them through pain, it was a spider. It was a spider. They said they had never seen anything like that before in their lives. So yes, yes. If you don't want me to be your friend no more, all you got to do is show me a picture of a spider, and we don't have to be friends no more. Mm-mm. Sure don't. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. But like I said, as outdoors, as country as I am, I know y'all remember the tobacco story. When I saw that worm with a horn, I ran all the way home. Biggest tomboy you ever want to see, but I am so girly, so girly. I've been watching you on TV, gonna take a shower, headed to an appointment. I just wanted to jump in and say you're beautiful and so talented. I love you, sis. Crochet and your portrait is amazing. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you too. And you have a good appointment. Keep me posted. Keep me posted. Okay, y'all. I'm going to say this one last thing, well, two, three last things. One of them is thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you hanging out with me. It did get to the point that it felt like a pajama party, and I love you guys for that. I love it when we all get together and commingle and just have a good time. Um, I'm definitely going to get to work on the key, and I'm going to develop this padded um, hot pad, and I will let you guys know how it turns out. This is today's project for me. Um, I ask that you please, please, please share the video. Um, Look at it on replay. Comment and convince others to, okay, okay. Appreciate that, Michelle. But convince others to subscribe. At least check it out so that they'll know. So that they'll know. Thank you for being here. Don't forget the bingo cards will be going on sale soon. I will get more into that on, I might pop up on a live on Saturday around 2 o'clock just to say, hey, you know, I know it's busy out here on Saturdays, but it can always be played on replay. And just to get the feel of everybody and used to being there on Saturdays, but definitely next Tuesday and next Thursday, I will be her. Tuesday might be a little tricky because I have my therapist and I are trying to figure something out. I know that she wants Tuesdays, but she's kind of shooting for 11, which means that I'd be switching from her to you all. We already talked about this Tuesday, and we're going to try to shift it so that I'll be getting out a little early from her and have time to prepare for you guys. Um, but yes, we're going to get busy. Thank you for being here. I love each and every one of you. Please don't forget to be bold, be brave, be beautiful, and among all things, please behave. Remember, Kitty told you, remember that Kitty loves you, and that comes from the depths of my soul. So until we see each other again out here on these YouTube streets, peace out, everybody.